Stress and anxiety, what do they really mean? Because they've become more and more prevalent in our society, in our modern age. And just to clarify, what I'm going to be talking about today is not the medical anxiety. It is not the anxiety that you would get prescribed medicine for, or medicine to reduce stress or anything like that. What I'm talking about today is the stress and anxiety that all of us experience in our daily lives. When you take on a new job, when you are working toward the lifestyle that you want, when you are building relationships, all of those things cause stress and anxiety in our lives. So how do we deal with that? How do we overcome that to become a more confident person, to become a happier person, and to lead ourselves into better lives? First, what we need to understand is what stress and anxiety really are. I like to describe them in terms of evolution. So stress and anxiety are signs that your body sends you. They're signs that say something needs to change, right? You can compare it to the fight or flight mechanism that we have ingrained in our bodies and our minds. When you're put in a position of danger, you have that fight or flight response where your body tells you something's wrong and something needs to be done about it immediately. Either you need to fight or run. That's the fight or flight response. And stress and anxiety is basically the same thing. When you're stressed, it's your body telling you, we're overwhelmed. Something needs to change. It's the same thing with anxiety. Something needs to change to get rid of this stress and anxiety. So breaking stress and anxiety down into, breaking it down to that simple explanation, it gives you a whole new insight as to how to deal with it. When you're stressed or anxious about work or relationships or where you're going in life, or school or a test or homework or anything in your daily life, it's your body telling you something needs to change, be it what you're doing or your mindset. And those are the two things that you can change to get rid of stress and anxiety in whatever you're experiencing it in. And if you change what you're doing, that's kind of like the flight mechanism, or the flight part of the fight or flight mechanism. You're running away from what was causing you that stress, which is a perfectly valid response. But you have to understand that sometimes getting what you want in life is going to require that stress. And when that happens, you need to deal with it in the second way. You need to change your mindset, change the way you think about and approach the problem at hand. If you think about it like a problem, it's going to be a problem. But if you think about it like something that just needs to be altered for you to dive in accurately and effectively, then it becomes easier to change. I know I'm speaking generally here. It's because I don't know what you're stressed or anxious about, but stress and anxiety, you just need to think about them as responses that your body gives your mind that say something is troubling you and we need to do something about it. The way I did it, I was in a full-time job. I wasn't going to school. It was after I got my bachelor's degree. I tell this story all the time, I had basically everything going for me. I had a great salary at 22 years old. Medical, dental, vision benefits, 2 weeks paid vacation, paid sick days. I had everything going for me, and yet I wasn't happy. And work was stressing me out and making me anxious. And there was no reason for that because my job was easy. I wasn't getting shot at on the streets. I wasn't putting myself in danger. All I had to do was fund auto loans or approve auto loan applications. It was easy. It's an easy job, and it shouldn't have been stressing me out, but it was. And what I realized after 6 months of research, it took me a long time, was that stress and anxiety is just a signal that your body gives you that says something's bothering you, you need to change. What I did was I changed my mindset, and then I changed what I was doing. That, to me, is the most effective way to go about it. You want to be happy and comfortable where you are, but always be moving away from that comfort. And that moving away from that comfort comes when you change what you're doing. So first, change your mindset. Think about what I did was I thought about all of the positive things that I had in my life. Like the salary, the income, the medical benefits, the girlfriend, the family, the personality traits that I loved about myself, my direction in life. Think about the good things that you have in your life. Then you want to plan where you're going. So that first stage, thinking about the good things that you have in your life, that's what I did. That's the changing your mindset. Change your mindset from I'm in a problem to I'm in a good place and I'm going to progress from here. And the second part of that is planning your future, moving on beyond that present. And that's what I did as well. I went back to school. I started my own business. I started training and coaching people. I did all these different things to progress past that present moment of stress and anxiety. So the first stage, changing your mindset, that gets rid of the stress and anxiety. It gets you to start thinking that what you have in your life isn't all that stressful and it could be a lot worse, and you start appreciating what you have. And then when you move beyond that, you feel even better because you put yourself in a good place. And then you get better from there. So you're going to a better place. This is a perfect way to deal with stress and anxiety. First, understand that it is a natural response. Don't let stress you out, because that is totally counterproductive. When people get stressed, they think, oh, I'm stressed. I have to do all of these things and I'm stressing out and it's bad for my health and I'm not sleeping enough and whatever. Don't let stress you out. That's silly. It's going to cause a positive feedback loop and you're just going to become ultra stressed. That's not what you want. When you get stressed, step back. Step back from whatever you're doing and think, okay, I'm stressed out. It means my body is telling me something needs to change. Either I need to change my mindset, change the way I'm thinking about these things and approaching them, or I need to change what I'm doing. Changing what you're doing is the flight. You're running away from what you were doing, what was causing you stress and anxiety, and staying there and changing your mindset is the fight part of that fight or flight mechanism. You're staying where you are, you're accepting the stress and the anxiety, and you're saying, I'm going to be able to better deal with it. I'm going to change what I'm doing in that situation that's causing the stress so that it no longer causes stress. Again, just as a reminder, I'm not talking about medical anxiety, something that would require a medication to overcome. I'm simply talking about the stress and anxiety that we deal with in our everyday lives. Instead of looking at it as a problem, instead of looking at the thing causing the stress as a problem, just acknowledge it as a signal from your body, and it's telling you something needs to change. It's simple. You can either change how you go about whatever is causing the stress, or you can change direction. You just need to make sure that you realize that important things in life are going to cause stress and anxiety. I always say in my book, Your Subconscious Mind is Listening, and the audio program that goes along with it, I say that everything in life costs exactly what it's worth to have. So if you have big dreams, it's going to cost a lot of energy, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. And you have to realize that if your dream is big enough, it's worth the fight. It's worth sticking with it and overcoming the stress and anxiety rather than running away from it. So don't use stress and anxiety as a signal that you need to get out of there. Use it as a signal from your body that's telling you something needs to change. You don't have to run. You can change the way you approach that problem, and it no longer becomes a problem. It just becomes something that you're changing. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that gives you a little insight into how to look at stress and anxiety, not as a problem, but as a signal from your body, as a natural response. And most importantly, don't let stress and anxiety stress you out more. It's going to cause a positive feedback loop, and you're just going to be stressed out even more. It's not going to help anything. So I hope that was helpful. Don't stress. I'll see you next time.